Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds, and it is game time. It is game time between the two strongest contenders for the title this season, and what a way to play! What a time to play them, boys! What an absolute time to play Manchester City in this on this Sunday. 5 losses in a row before capitulating against Feyenoord midweek to draw the game, and we go into this game as I want to say title favourites. It's an early game, but this could be a big game in terms of the rest of the season. Because if we go 11 points to the clear of Man City, people are going to start to get a little bit giddy about this title. I know it's not. I still know it's early, but it's going to be. People are going to start to get giddy. Boys, are you excited or nervous about this tomorrow?
Well, the game Sunday, to be fair, but so we still
This
got
is going out on Saturday, though.
okay. But I'm excited, a little nervous. Like for me, because of the Kanate news coming out today, obviously that's a blow. Um, Kind of thought, to be fair, that would be lucky if he came off with something less than that, but it could have been worse. I don't think we're gonna batter them. I was more confident that we would win comfortably with Konate. I still think we'll win. I just think it's gonna be a bit closer. And even though they're playing bad, a team's more dangerous when they're kind of in a position where everyone writes them off, and Pep and Man City's not the team to write off. I still think we'll win just because of the style of play, how we play now. If we were more playing like the Klopp system, then where it's more gun ho, then I do think could lose because it could play into City's hands where it's like a basketball game. But I still think we'll win. But yeah, a mixture of feelings with Liverpool. It's always that kind of feeling in big games. Excited but nervous. I was like that with the Real Madrid game as well. So yeah, similar feelings.
It's going to be a long one, isn't it?
Yeah. I wish it was on a Saturday, to be fair, to be honest with you. I just kind of wanted to just get out of the way and enjoy the rest of my weekends. But, we have to wait until Sunday. So tonight, tomorrow night, it's going to be a bit of a nervous sleep, a nervous wait until Sunday. And yeah, but I do believe that we have the ability to beat them, the players to beat them. Yes, Canada is a massive blow, just like Reece said, is a massive blow for us, especially in the back. But I think that Gomez will come in and he will do a job there. And I'm not really worried too much because I feel like Gomez, when he gets around run of games next to Van Dijk, I feel like he'll be fine. Until Konate comes back. So I'm concerned, but I'm not too concerned about it. I feel like we can get through these next period of games with him at the back. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we come out on the happier side of it rather than the sad side of it. So yeah, let's see.
We do have that 8 point gap between them right now.
Yeah,
But it's a game like this where you lose, and that 8 point gap can easily be nailed. Be shut down quite easily with a team
yeah.
like City if they do get that win and they get the confidence back possibly. But going into going into this, would you take a draw? Would you take a draw?
No,
Or
no,
you just want to
not.
win?
I'll cut because what I'm looking at is okay. This is. I mean, I was talking to my work colleagues about this, and he even asked me the same questions. Like, would you take a draw? And I said to him, no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because one, if we take a draw, yes, that still gives us a gap to City. But let's say Arsenal beats West Ham, that gets them closer to us. And what I want, and how this is how I want the season to kind of go, is I want to put Arsenal in a position where they know they cannot drop a point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So if we win this game, and let's say they win their game, it still puts them in a position where they know the next game they have to win. They can't even afford to draw because as soon as they draw, that's a double digits in terms of the lead that we'll have on them and City. So that's the position I want to make sure I want to put these two guys on. So that's the reason why I wouldn't take a draw. Now, if we were like let's say 10 points ahead of Arsenal, then I would be like, possibly I'll take a draw. But in this moment in time, I feel like we need to make sure that we continue putting pressure on Arsenal because you gotta understand these guys, yes, they've been in the title run for the last 2 years, but they don't have the experience like we do. like we had when we went against City. We actually took it to the very, very last day. We've actually won things, so we know how to kind of navigate these type of this type of situation. They know how to navigate it, but they don't know how to cross the line. You know what I mean? So when the pressure kind of gets to them, they do crumble, which we have seen for the last 2 years. So I want to make sure I want to keep that pressure on them. That's the reason why I feel like we need to win. And a draw will kind of give them a hope, like, oh my gosh, we're still in this title race. And I don't want to give them that right now at any point at all. So that's the reason why I want
it does feel slightly like you just when you're saying like you don't want to keep that gap between them. It does sort of feel like right now. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it does feel like a bit like the 1920 season where we won the league, where the gap just kept getting bigger, slowly getting bigger, to the point where it was impossible for anyone else to catch us up. And this is why, like people say when they say like COVID title, we were 25 points clear at Christmas. Like we'd already had the title practically in the bag at that point. All I had to do was just grind out, just keep going, and just keep going with these results every now and then. We could have forced to drop points then at that point.
Yeah.
Do you think it could get like that, Reese?
To counter, though, I would say the only difference is we were only dealing with City back then. There's Arsenal.
Yeah.
So
is it Chelsea in this as well? What do you say?
They're dark horses. Are they're dark horses, but I don't think they're ready for winning the league this season. Until I see them get closer, I still think their challenge for top four, and every now and again they have an inconsistent result. The only way they come into it is if Liverpool allow them to come into it. That's how I see it personally.
Yeah, so Arsenal and City that can keep up with Liverpool in terms of that sort of
similar to
level.
I feel regardless whether we were in this position or we wasn't in this position, for me a draw is not good enough. We're Liverpool, we're at home. When you play the big teams, ideally you want to beat them home and away, but if anything, minimum you have to beat them at home and away from home. If it was at City, then I would say yeah, maybe a point, but then the way they're playing, for me, they're there for the taking. We just got to manage it carefully, which I do think we will. But like I said, I do believe as well with Arsenal, you just got to keep putting the pressure on, because obviously you see some of the media outlets. I see something, I think it was Robbie. But I do think some of the things some of them say, because he's a clever guy, he's saying certain things get a reaction where he's saying Liverpool's played everyone at the right time. Yeah, it's just narratives for me, like, and all that. Oh, we're focused on Man City. Okay, all right, that's a team you can tell who ain't won nothing, because you pay attention to City 100%. They've won it 4 years in a row, but you 100% have to pay attention to the team at the top of the table. So you don't want to give us our respect, that's fine. But I mean, that they're going to be praying that there's a draw or City win or something like that. But they need to focus on their games, because they should beat West Ham, but that's not a straightforward game. That's a derby. So and it's at West Ham. So
I've seen the same people that said we're not focused on Liverpool, or we're not scared of Liverpool, but then they're saying they're hoping City beat us on Sunday. So if they're not worried about us, why they want us to get beaten?
Yeah, exactly.
It completely contradicts itself.
All we got to do is keep winning our games and just take it a game at a time.
Exactly.
So even if we beat City and it's 11 points, great. But there's no letting up.
Still not done.
And for me, we needed to act in January before this injury. But for me, with the Konate injury, you have to get centre back now in January. So just to cover us, because I think Gomez will be the one that comes in. But you got to remember, Trent's coming back. But then it's like, if Trent gets injured now, who you got at right back? If Gomez gets injured, obviously you got Kwanzaa, but it's like you're down to your bare bones. So I think we can manage it. But
we're good with Trent with Conor Bradley behind him. Definitely good with Trent with Conor Bradley behind him.
No, but
he's injured now. He's out now.
Weeks.
Yeah, that's it.
A couple of weeks he's going to be injured. His is not as bad. So, but for me, and we just got to try and manage this until January. Keep winning our games. Hopefully the gap stretches, but don't get complacent. Just keep taking that game at a time. And I trust the squad, but I trust Slot even more. Each game, more and more, he's just making me get more confident, more behind him. The way he does press conferences, the way he handles the media, like they try and catch him out, and he's got an answer, he's ready, and you can tell it's not like he's forcing this. It just seems like he's just someone who's does his due diligence. So yeah.
Whilst it is looking good right now, and I said this yesterday on a stream I did, I said, we are currently the best team in the world in terms of form. Yeah, we still might not win the leagues, we might not win the Champions League, but right now we are the best team in the world, and no one can deny that. However, you've got to look at both sides as well, where we can look back at 1920 when we ran away with the league, But then you look at the season after when we got the injury to Van Dijk, and then the expected injuries of Matip and Gomez at the time because they were injury prone, and we didn't plan for those properly in the summer. We didn't replace Lovren. Could that happen again? It sounds awful. Could that happen again? Because Konate's injured now. Gomez is still injury prone, regardless. I know he don't play as much and often to get injured, but he's still got an injury in him. And then you got Van Dijk and Quanta after that. Then
Go on.
Sorry, Reece.
No, you can go. Go on.
I don't know. I feel like is it possibly to happen again for Liverpool? Yes, because of the owners we have, unfortunately. But I feel like I don't know. Was Edwards there when that happened? He wasn't, was he? He left before that, didn't
who?
he? Edwards.
He
He wasn't there, was he?
Did he go after that season?
I'm not too sure.
Was it Julian Ward? Because we won the league and then it was the season after, wasn't it? I'm sure he went after that season.
Yeah. Okay. But let's just say I feel like with him on the helm and him being in charge in terms of the sporting director side of it, and taking over in terms of the whole sporting side of Liverpool, I don't feel like he would allow something like that to happen. And if he did, then that would really, really surprise me in terms of leaving us short again like we did that time. But so for me, it's a possibility, but I'm hoping that FSG bringing back all of these familiar faces that know the club, that know how the club is run and the expectation of the club. Those people could kind of be like, guys, we cannot allow this sort of situation to happen again. If we go ahead and win the league, to not add to the squad, not to make our squad even stronger, because I feel like that season we actually could have repeated. We actually could have retained the title the season after.
Yeah, we're top of the league, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually top of the league going into January, and after all those injuries we had, and what you brought us was Kabak. It was like, what are you doing here? It was kind of weird. You know what I mean? It was kind of weird. Like we're top of the league. We need a defender. Go out there. Put your money where your mouth is, and kind of back Klopp to kind of retain this title. And we didn't go ahead and do that. And even in the Champions League, I think we got to the quarterfinals and we got knocked out by Madrid, I believe.
I thought I won it. Yeah,
That
was the win. That was the year we won the league. I think we were not top by Atletico Madrid.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, but yeah, it just baffles me. But I'm hoping. I'm just kind of crossing my fingers.
Kabak and Ben Davies have been taking straight to the face since that season. It's not their fault. It wasn't their fault. They were always going to say yes to a club like us, and it wasn't their fault that they're the ones that got brought in. They've been taking some heat since that season. It's not their fault. And Ben Davies didn't get a minute, so
no.
It wasn't his fault we bought him. It wasn't Kabak's fault that we bought him. It wasn't Nat Phillips or Reece Williams' fault that they had to be called upon. And we've still got Nat Phillips, by the way. Is he going to get called up against Reece? Nat Phillips?
No, man. Like, you haven't seen Phillips. I think more or less Phillips will get sold in the following summer. That's coming next year. But like I said, can't ever discredit Phillips because, like I said, whenever he's come in, he's done a
that
job.
Cruyff turn against AC Milan.
He's always done a job. When he come in, it was him and Reece Williams that got us third. You got to remember that.
Yeah.
Maybe if you put in natural centre backs, regardless of how good they were earlier, could have been a better season. So we have to see. Obviously, with that, what Cam said, what's it called? Against Atletico, even though we should have maybe strengthened, it was Adrian that cost us that game.
Yeah,
people remember.
That was
dominated that game.
That was awful. Llorente, wasn't it?
But we didn't kill the game. It was 1-0 up, and then
he
gave them hope because one of the shots went in from far. Next thing you know, they started shooting from far. They sensed the weakness, and I always said that with Adrian is like, should never have signed someone like that. I'm sorry, man. He's never been given a professional contract apart from when it was Liverpool. How ironic is that? Not even West Ham. I mean, like, as in he ain't been like. Sorry, I got it mixed up. He ain't been signed as in someone.
Yeah, like full time contract.
Until Liverpool.
Years. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Speaking of Adrian, then, and keep on keepers, Kelleher has not given that spot up quite easily, has he? Really, coming in after Alisson Becker being out. Alisson Becker's now back. Sunday team. Who is starting, boys? Who is starting? Kelleher or Alisson Becker?
Kelleher for me.
Same.
I think
dropping him.
he's earned the position, and obviously we know Ali's still slightly ahead. But I've been saying this, that he's in the conversation with Ali. It's not night and day now. He's improved so much. It's a shame, like I said, in terms of our goalkeeping positions, we're stacked in there. I kind of want to keep Kelleher, and I want Mamardashvili to go out on loan another season because he's the future. I still think right now.
Can Mamardashvili play 6?
Huh?
Can he play 6?
If only.
Get him in at 6.
He's got a height for it, so
yeah.
But I think he's well and truly. Like I said, I'm a strong believer. If someone gets injured, it's unfortunate, but it's similar to like Konate now. He gets injured. Unfortunately, obviously, I wish him a speedy recovery and can't wait for him to be back. But if Gomez comes in or Kwanzaa comes in and they start playing really well, Konate doesn't come straight back in. For me, you keep the momentum. You don't shift it. And Ali, like I said, he's kind of injury prone. So for me, even though he's ready, doesn't mean he's matched. Just let him stay there. Put him in when we need him. For me, Kelleher's in the form of his life. Why are you going to take him out of the goal? For me,
it's mad to say that, though, isn't it? It's mad to say that because Alisson Becker's clearly the number one keeper in the world, still the best keeper in the world, and it wasn't like he was playing bad before he went injured either. So it's like, and this is why we asked for that extra addition in terms of transfers, that extra addition every now and then, because we want to keep these players on the toes. The way Conor Bradley's going to keep Trent on his toes, Kelleher's going to keep Alisson on his toes, and we're seeing it now. Where we're getting to the point where when Conor Bradley comes back, we're going to look at that right back position and say, Trent, you've got some competition now. Kelleher, Alisson, you've got some competition. You literally have to win that place back now. And he probably will get his place back. When he's fully fit, I think he'll just get that place back naturally because he's still the best keeper in the world. But it's making him, it will make him up his game and say, look, I can't drop off here because if I drop off, this guy's taking over me. He's too good not to take over me. Sunday, though, they're missing players as well, obviously. Rodri's the massive one. Kyle Walker seems to have, I know he's not missing, but he seems to have gone missing off the face of earth. He's lost his legs. Do we take advantage of that, Kyle Walker losing his legs? I think that's all he had, really, his legs.
Yeah. I think if Diaz is fully on his game, then that left hand side we should really terrorize them because you'll have Robertson making the underlapping run, the overlapping runs, and that's just gonna cause so much havoc on that left hand side. And I think you gotta. Yeah, sorry about that. I think you got to really take advantage.
That's Robertson taking the overlap run there. Robertson getting the overlap run on the outside.
Yeah, and I feel like you got to take advantage of that, especially because Walker's not really at the top of his game right now, and I feel like if you really look at that whole team, the midfield, we really should dominate the midfield because I don't know if Kevin De Bruyne is playing or if he's fit enough to play.
He's in and out, isn't he? He's in and out.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
He will feature whether he starts or comes on. Pep's desperate. He will.
So we should really dominate that midfield with McAllister, with Gravenberch, with I'll even put Jones in there because I'll start a bit ahead of Szoboszlai because I feel like he's so much more creative. He can carry the ball as well. Defensively, he's strong as well. So I feel like his decision making is a little bit better than Szoboszlai's right now in terms of making that final pass and making that final decision. So yeah, those are the areas that I feel like we can really get at them. And Salah's going to do what Salah's going to do, and Nunes is going to cause havoc. So, but I'm looking at that left hand side. If Diaz is fully on it, then it's going to be a problem. And if he's not fully on it, then Gakpo is going to cause them problems as well. He brings a whole dimension of when it comes to attacking that left hand side as well, because he can go in and out. So it's kind of like he doesn't always has to be. With Diaz, you kind of know what he's going to do. He's going to try to skill you up, cut in, or play low 1-2 with Robertson and try running behind. You know what I mean? So you kind of can predict what he's doing. But with Gakpo, you don't know what he's going to do. He might come inside. He might go outside. He might play the 1-2. He might drop into the middle, receive it, and drive with it. So, I'm looking at that left-hand side as an area of a weakness for City right now.
You know what I'm seeing? Right? I'm seeing Gareth Bale against Maicon. You know, when he ended his career that night, practically in the Champions League. That's what I'm seeing with Diaz and Walker. This could be like a career ender against Diaz. It's like a penultimate game where Diaz is playing right now and where Gakpo's playing as well. Could be a long day for Walker, but where else would you target, Reese? Obviously, Walker seems like a weak link at the moment. Where else should Liverpool look to target on Sunday?
The midfield for me. That's where the game's going to be won. That's where the game's controlled. The midfield, even if De Bruyne starts or features, yes, we know what he brings, but he doesn't have the legs. And if you remember when we played them last year, what was the? Did we win? Did we beat them at home last season?
We drew on one, didn't we? They should
Come
got a penalty,
on, but
shouldn't
the
we?
way he
Should got that
dominated
penalty,
them
shouldn't we?
in midfield,
Yeah.
De Bruyne got subbed because if you don't give him time on the
Yeah,
ball,
shocking, wasn't it?
if you give him time, then he's going to punish you. So for me, with the legs, because who in midfield during the week against Real Madrid, it was Gravenberch, McAllister, and Curtis Jones. But at times, sometimes Curtis was in the 10, and sometimes McAllister. It looked at times like they were both in the 10. Second half, it's like
Even
McAllister.
Gravenberch went forward quite a bit on Wednesday.
Second half, McAllister looked more advanced, especially for that goal, he scored. So if you could keep that free with Szoboszlai, maybe play him. But I've been saying this statement as well. I've been saying this for weeks. If he does play him alongside Gravenberch in the 6, because going forward, he's not offering as much as we want. But physically, he has legs.
Yeah.
If he's not going to play him as the 6 with Gravenberch, then for me, I'm going with McAllister, Curtis Jones, and Gravenberch, because McAllister, he hasn't been great this season, but he came to life against Real Madrid. He really stepped up. And then Curtis Jones, he's another one. He's been in the form of his life as well. He really stepped up in that Real Madrid game again and was bossing it. If we can control the midfield, then for me, it's a wrap. And an early goal, I think if we get an early goal, it's curtains for them. For me, because the crowd's going to get up. And that's what happened when we scored. And during the week, the crowd got up and then you saw the rest. So, yeah.
I'd like to see McAllister be a number 10 now, you know. I would like to see McAllister in that number 10 role now. Like, Szoboszlai has had his chance this season. He's had his chance last season. And he's doing work off the ball. But if he wants to do work off the ball, I'd rather it be further back, like you said. Get him further back in that double pivot alongside Gravenberch and get the ball back and get to someone like McAllister and give it him in those small pockets, because I think McAllister could do more damage in those small pockets than Szoboszlai can. In terms of passing wise, possibly even long shots. He's got a long shot in him, hasn't he? McAllister, he can shoot. I think that's what we want Szoboszlai to start doing, really, because he's known for his long shots. But in those small pockets, I think McAllister's probably better than the ball in terms of packing out them little intricate passes, them Jose Benayoun passes, as I like to call them, because that's the kind of pass he used to play, them Mesut Ozil passes. I think McAllister's got them more in his locker than Szoboszlai has. So I'm agreeing with you guys. The midfield three of Jones, Grav, and McAllister would be perfect. But I'd happy to see Szoboszlai come back. If he is started, I'd happy to see him come back into like a number 8, like you said there. Defense. So who would you replace Konate with?
Gomez, like I said at the start, I think Gomez coming in will be better than Kwanzaa. I feel like if Kwanzaa comes in, Haaland is just gonna be on his side all day, every day.
Him. Yeah.
Just like they did in Ipswich, they just targeted him because he's not as big as Konate, he's not as strong as Konate. You know, he's still young, he's still building his body, so understand. So he doesn't have that strength yet. So that's the reason why I'll put Gomez there, because Gomez is strong. He might not be as big as Konate, but he can, hold his own against Haaland, and he's quick as well. So Haaland can't just beat him off the on merit when it comes to pace. So that's the reason why I'll put him there. And I feel like I kind of have to disagree a little bit about McAllister. I think he's been good this season. I just feel like he's been just quietly going about his game and just kind of knitting everything together. And I feel like just because he's not doing what he was doing last season in terms of the spectacular passes, those runs that he was making, I feel like people are kind of sleeping on him and kind of saying that he's not performing well, but he's actually been the gel that's been keeping that midfield together. Yes, Gravenberch has been fantastic, don't get me wrong, he's been great, but I feel like with McAllister there on the side, it kind of gives that kind of blanket, if he's in trouble, McAllister's there to receive the ball and play it on and continue with the ball. So I feel like, yeah, that's the only thing I kind of disagree when it comes to when people say that McAllister's not been great this season. I just feel like, especially I feel like Slot's kind of using him differently than what the way Klopp did as well. You know, so but hey, let's just
He was
see.
class
But
midweek. He got man match, didn't he? Midweek.
yeah, yeah, no, he's been fantastic. I feel like he's been great this season. It's just like I feel like he's one of those quiet. He's kind of like I'm not saying that he's like this guy or he's to level this guy, but if you really look at Xavi, he was a quiet guy. You know what I mean? You sometimes you didn't even notice he was on the pitch because
I
he
like
was
that.
so
I like
he
that
was a
because
quiet. Yeah,
Iniesta and Busquets get all the
the older glory, but
glory,
Xavi
don't
was
they? Yeah,
really the
yeah,
guy that kept
yeah.
everything knitted together. If you really
Mm.
watch the games, and he was kind of quiet, that quiet assassin that nobody really paid attention to a lot of the times. But he was the guy. He was one of the most dangerous person that you can on that pitch because when he receives the ball, it's like the whole team comes to life because they know they can move because he can keep the ball, he can dictate the play. So that's how I kind of look at McAllister, how he's been this season personally for me. So, but yeah, no, I'll start Gomez. I think Gomez should definitely get a chance of run of games this in this next period of the season, and I feel
But
like it will suit him more as well.
we all want to target the left hand side with Walker. We all want to. I think midfield's a big place where we can win the game. And midfield battle's not the way you win the game anyway. If you can win that, you got a better chance of winning the game anyway. But
Mhm.
Reese, our weaknesses right now. If we have any, what are you worried about most against Man City?
Left back
I was about to say that as well.
with Robbo because there's a mistake in there. There was a mistake against Real Madrid, even though he played decent. There was still a mistake. It's like he gets a rush of blood to the head, and he has to go in for the tackle. He's done it 4 or 5 times, and obviously I've spoke of my admiration for Robbo. Obviously Simicast is injured. I would have been playing Gomez left back, but now Gomez that's not going to happen because Kanai is injured.
Mm.
Yeah,
The left that left side, I just don't want him to get dragged into anything he doesn't need to. Just do the basics well. Even when you're doing well, don't get too carried away. Don't get just keep focused. That just maybe just that left side is the position I'm worried about, and depends right back depends when Trent because Trent will probably play now, but he hasn't played for a couple games, so we got to see where his mind's at as well because you're hearing all this Real Madrid stuff. I think he done some interview again. He didn't say nothing about Real Madrid, but a lot of our fans are getting emotional because he didn't reiterate that he wants to stay at Liverpool, which I still think he does, but at the same time, I think his mind's in the middle. Hence why I
Yep.
don't Slot used
Yep.
him all during the week, which was perfect. He didn't bring him on at all, which was perfect because I wouldn't have brought him on. So I got to see where his mind's at as well because he could say he up for this game, but he could be thinking about Real Madrid in January. He might not, for all I know, but that's I'm more with Trent. It's more where his mind's at, and if he's up for this game, and then Robbo, it's just he's slowly declining. Well, he's declining really, and it's just about he's got a mistake in him.
yeah,
So whoever's he's gonna be up against on that side. Who plays there? Is it Savine? Is it Savinio that plays on that side?
He has
I
been
think
doing, yeah, because Docker's been
yeah,
on left, hasn't
Doku, yeah.
So
No, but Doku's injured. I think isn't he
he?
injured?
He took out. Savino went to the left. I'm sure Savino went to the left.
Doko
Yeah.
usually play on the
No,
left.
Silva could be on the right.
Yeah. Like I said, it's all depends who's on that side. It's just them, the left back and the right back. Trent for the mindset and the left back more because Robbo, he's got a mistake in him. Those are the positions really.
Right, boys, before we go, predictions. Quick score predictions.
Oh.
No pressure.
I'll say 2-1 Liverpool. I feel like they will get a goal because of Konate not being there. To be honest with you, I would have played Bradley in this game if he wasn't injured. If I'm being honest, um, just kind of like what we said. I don't feel like his mind is really here. He's kind of distracted with this whole contract situation, but it also can be tactics to kind of put Liverpool under pressure. These
Yeah.
injuries, to kind of make them like crap. We gotta sign this guy, or we gotta get this over the line because the way this guy's talking. So these guys, the agents, his brother's probably in here like say this in the interview, talk like this, kind of get them to the table to what you really want so they can give it to you. So I kind of look at it like that, but at the same time, I do get why everyone's kind of concerned with some of the words, the way he's used, some of the words that he's using in these interviews. So yeah, so I would have paid Bradley, but obviously he's injured. So, but yeah, I'll say 2-1.
2-1 over game, Reese.
Yeah, 2-1, maybe 3-1. But I'm leaning more towards 2-1 just because Konate got injured. I was before 3-1. But it all depends for me how early we score. I think if we score early, it's a real problem for Man City.
Yeah, that'd be massive. If we got an early goal,
Because
like
I
you
just
said
think
earlier, once the crowd's up, the
and you
crowd's up.
saw how we were all over Real Madrid. Like we were controlling it anyway, but you saw that there was 2 moments, the Bradley tackle on Mbappe got the crowd up, and then when we scored, it was like, you know what I mean? So yeah,
And with Man City playing like they are at the moment, not confident at all. A crowd
that's
up, an Anfield crowd up like that,
I do
that
think
could kill him.
that would be the worst
Yeah,
thing that can
yeah.
happen. But I just have a feeling Pep's gonna change. Do you remember that game when he came here because he was scared of playing against us?
Yeah.
Because of what Annie and Bobby and stuff had done. He came and I think they got a 0-0 draw. I could see him trying to set up in a way where it's like just
I
make
wanted to lose.
Let's just stop them, because if he tries to go against us, you're gonna lose.
Yeah,
So
no, that's actually a good shot.
we'll see. I think he's in a desperate position right now. He's gonna look at that game where we can't lose it. If we can win, great. But he's probably thinking, just don't lose this game. That's what he's thinking. Don't lose
I
the
feel
game.
like that's one thing we actually haven't spoken about. We haven't spoken about the mindset that City could be in. They could be in that mindset of like, let's keep this, lead under double digits until we get to January, so we can, bolster our midfield and our defense and fix a few things and tweak a few things and bring a few players in. He could be thinking like that. He could be thinking, I don't care how we go into this game. I just want to make sure that Liverpool does not win this game. So
Don't you think they'd like see this game as like a must win though? Just to close something on us. Because it's the only game that they can play. They only get 2 games a season. That is all on them to get behind us. Otherwise, they have to rely on other people to get results against us, if that makes sense.
But you gotta understand that we gotta go to the we gotta go there. You know what I mean? So he's looking at he's looking at it like that as well. Because if it was the other way around where we were going there, then I'll feel like he'll be in a position where he'll be like, okay, we cannot lose this game. We can have to at least win it, or we have to win this game because we're going to Anfield next.
Yeah.
But because we're gonna go to them, I feel like he'll be in that position. Like, let's just keep this gap as close as possible, and if they can get some players in January, then you know what City does in the latter stage of the season. They just go on these crazy runs, wins after wins. And if it's not double digits, like the way we did it in 1920, then yeah, it will be a long day for everybody else, because you know how Pep is, you know how he can get these guys, going, So yeah. So that's how I think it personally, anyways.
Whatever happens, it's going to be. It normally is a cracker. It normally is a cracker of a game. About that 0-0. I mean, one of the best games I've ever seen in recent years was that 2-2 that we had. I think it was at Anfield, actually. Was it Anfield, that 2-2? That was probably one of the best games I've ever seen in terms of quality on both sides of the pitch.
Yeah.
So we're always in for a cracker when it comes to Man City, Liverpool. If we win, then what a statement again. Just like it was midweek against Real Madrid, a massive statement to the rest of Europe. If we win on Sunday, it's a statement to the rest of the league and say, look, come catch us, because we're the team to beat right now. And that lead will start to increase. Obviously, Arsenal got West Ham, which is not an easy game, by the way, because West Ham, they're very hot and cold right now. They'll play one week and then they'll play the next. I mean, it's got to win away to Newcastle.
Arsenal's going to win that game comfortably, man. West
You
Ham,
think?
I would have hoped. I'd had hope last season with David Moyes, being there. They would have got something out of that game, because Moyes can kind of play that defensive side of it and just go on to counter attack. But with Lopetegui, whatever his name is, I don't see that happening. He's gonna try to play his ball, and Arsenal's just gonna pop it around them, and they're gonna just destroy them. So I don't have any hope for that game.
Just bear in mind, though, West Ham did pick up a win against Newcastle. So.
Yeah, they did away on.
I still expect Arsenal to win, but they picked up a win.
But Arsenal,
I didn't expect them to win, and you got to remember it's a derby. But it's same as when Liverpool play Everton. It's not really about form.
Yeah,
it's about who wants it more on that day. If it was at Arsenal, 100%, they're comfortably winning, but it's at West Ham. So for me, if West Ham can make it into a physical game and Arsenal get drawn into that, and if West Ham score first, we'll see. But I still think Arsenal win. I just don't. If they win comfortably, fair enough. But I don't think it will be. I still think it will be a battle.
They made a statement midweek, if I'm honest, as well. Arsenal did make a massive statement in Europe midweek. They went to Sporting Lisbon, absolutely battered them in their own patch. I think that is a statement, if I'm honest. The way Sporting Lisbon have been playing this season, and they got a win against Man City as well.
But they lost the manager.
And they lost the manager, but
Okay,
still,
context.
going there is not an easy task to go and batter him.
If
go there and win,
there, Arsenal don't win. That's how I see it.
I don't know about that.
That's how I see it. It's a big deal when you lose your manager who's built everything, and now he's left.
Yeah,
but I do think it was a big statement. But whatever happens with Arsenal on Saturday, they got West Ham on Saturday, I think I want to say, and whatever happens to us on Sunday, we've got a big opportunity here to set a statement and set the precedent for this league.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, boys, I hope you enjoy it. We get your popcorn ready because I'm really nervous for it. I know it's Friday now, but I'm really nervous for this one because this is like not a make or break, but this is a big time in the season where if we lose it, we could easily, I don't want to say it, but capitulate. That's one of them things. It's one of them times of the season, the December, Christmas period. The games come thick and fast. We've got some tough games coming up. Away to West Ham, away to Newcastle, away to Tottenham as well. So get a win on Sunday and let's start this Christmas period in the perfect way. Thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe to the channel. I always say like the channel, like this video, subscribe to the channel, get notification bells on so we get live. We're live after the game tomorrow, which it will be tomorrow because I know it's Friday now, but it will be tomorrow when this goes out. Live after the game for match reaction, and we're getting content out every single day as well. Thank you everyone for watching.